Krogar rides into battle with his buddy cops side by side against Malekith and the Dark Elves as they ride to their supposed victory. We have the Lizardmen here today against the Dark Elves. For the Lizardmen, they have brought Krogar as the Lord, and he has brought, I think, a couple spells here. If it would stick on him, please. Thank you. There we go. Then we have Cold-Blooded, which will give the leadership buff, which is always great, especially in the lower end stages of the battle when units get low and they want to rout. But also for this Feral Basildon, because it has this Rampage ability where you lose control after it loses a certain amount of health. And so when it does, you can throw that on there and it will stop it, and then you can get control over it again, which is really nice. And then he also has Hand of the Gods, which will be great at getting rid of, say, like you want to use it on these Doomfire Warlocks, or Sister, or can do pretty good damage to Malekith, but probably more just on the Cav or the Witch Elves would be the best bet, since they cannot heal, which we'll find out soon Malekith can, if he brought the right spells anyways. But anyways, besides that, we have 3 Skink Skirmishers across the front, which provide some good poke. We really get into these Witch Elves that are just here. Good at poking them down as long as they don't get charged down. So be careful of that. Make sure not to overextend. And then we have mix of Skink Cohort with 2 Saurus Warriors on the side. Good there. Saurus Warriors will find good staying power. Pretty okay in melee. They have the greatest melee stats to fight, but they're really good on defense. So good stuff there, and we'll be able to do a little bit. And then we have Cold Riders on this side, and Cold Rider Spear with the Spear Riders. So kind of good mix here, good anti-infantry, and just kind of good at, like I said, we get really good at fighting these Stormfire Warlocks, or doing just a little bit better in melee in general after the charge wears off. Whereas like the Cold and Spear Riders will be great on the charge, and they'll do good. And to say like these Doomfire Warlocks, but not staying nearly as well as these just Cold Riders would in a fight. So good choice, kind of spreading them out. Usually you just bring Spear Riders, because usually you don't get that much from not having the anti-large, but we'll see how it works out. And then we have a Feral Basildon, which would be kind of a good center monster. Kind of just run in there, cause some disruption. Won't be great here with this little of infantry, but can do okay, just doing a little bit more damage per se, like maybe Malekith if he lands, he can get some hits in and the other stuff. And he just has really good armor and a little bit better stats. And have the Basildon Arc of Sotek. This would be really nice if we can get on these Witch Elves and use the ability, because it is great against infantry, which you can see right here. And he had his armor piercing 2, does poison, Sotek's poison, which you can see the state buffs right there. Which is really good against infantry, so it'll be great if you can get it onto those. That'll be the main goal, or even like Doomfire Warlock's great. And then other than that, rounding off the build, we have the Skink Priest with Beast. It was guaranteed brought Flock of Doom. It's just a great spell, always bring it. Another Focus Instinct, Stop Rampage. And then this one, Flock of Doom, great spell, always get good value. Using on even like a couple of units to get in a blob. You can overcast it, or just use it normal. Usually try to overcast it, I think. And then, yeah. Then you have Amber Spear, which is just kind of good against picking off models, cavalry, or like infantry. Kind of run low on spells, or whatever you need it for. And other than that, just kind of a basic kit. Besides that, now for the Dark Elves, we have a kind of spicy build here. We have, I think, 4 regular Doomfire Warlocks. Yeah, which is a pretty good cav piece. As long as they don't get bogged down with, like, say, some of the chaff or the cold ones alone, they'll look pretty good. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll do with them. They have Malekith, and this is what you need to pay off. And he has brought the Dragon Breaths, or just come with him on the dragon, but they're really good, like, for the Saurus, or the Spear Riders, or even just nuking, like Krogar, if you can get him into without him moving. Great there. So it's interesting to see how that goes. Stand your ground, just great melee defense buff and leadership. So when you get in kind of a blob, you can hold. Power of Darkness is going to cause a little bit of damage, but then we'll get magic back, so not the worst. Doombolt, good kind of poking out single units like the Lord, so since he has no healing on the Krogar, so that'll be good. And then Soul Stiller, so Pretty good kit here. Soul Stealer is going to be really nice when he gets low because it'll heal him. And then in back we have 3 Witch Elves, one being the ROR. No ROR, sorry. Just 3 Witch Elves. So we'll see how they do. It could be interesting. They really have a lot to cut through for sure. And then the Siren of Everyone, which will help cut through stuff. And then her ability, she prizes a AoE damage effect. So we'll see how she does. Bolts will be nice against all this infantry. But let's get this started. So, oh yeah, and sorry, the Harpies too in the back, just kind of nice. I think probably just sit on the Seeing Priest and do alright. We are going to see that Doom Bolt go down immediately on Krotgar, which is good. You can just start to poke him down. The sooner you can do it, the better. See, an Ember Spear does really good damage against Malekith. Now, you'll be able to heal it back, but there is heal caps. So once he does it, it's it. Or once he hits it, that's it. And their nice hand of the gods too. So good job poking Malekith. He will heal it back, but Krotgar did take a lot from that, which is very concerning. And another one, whew, nasty damage there. So this is concerning for sure. You don't want your lords to die this soon. So good use there. And then he's going to be kind of smart. Try to pull his units back and get in better positioning. He does have to be careful here, because he can't just keep doing this. So something kind of needs to eventually engage, or they have intent to engage, which we will see maybe here. You really want to make sure when you're getting pulled like this, you want to try to keep everything as tight as you can. Just make sure not to go over chasing with these cold ones or anything else. Also, good job pulling kind of Krotgar back, keeping him away, so Malekith can't use another Doom Bolt on him, which he is saving up for at the moment with that Power of Darkness. Good job here. Just getting the Harpies on that Seeing Priest, doing amazing damage. Probably should land him and get these ones over here, or just shoot at him like he's doing. And great charges up front. Amazing to see it. Nasty. Now, the Dark Kills may be thinking of going in, but probably a good idea they don't. Then we are going to see, I think, a Soul Blight. Nice debuff. And they are going to come back and fight this. Which, it should be okay. Yeah, especially since they got that rear attack. They're doing amazing. And these Witch Elves are kind of starting to stay around. Nice use of that AoE too. So it actually did work out pretty good. Should be able to get these two and then kind of flank around. And really just trying to pick off the mobility. Because as soon as he can't use the opponent, or as soon as his opponent can't use his ability, he can kind of just pick off what he wants. He's going to lose 1 Witch Elf for it, but at the end of the world, he just completely nuked a unit. And maybe one more, so good use there. Harpies did kind of just die for the cause. They did okay, get kind of harassing the Seeing Priest. And then we're just going to see Dark Doomfire Warlocks, maybe a mistake. I don't know if we could pull back at that point, but letting them stick in there, it's a bad idea, per se. Doomfire Warlocks flanking around here. Nice little Soul Stealer there, going to heal up Malekith a little bit. Krotgar is going to go for the fight here, which should do good. You should really be able to nuke her down. The Siren won't be able to do much against that, and this will be the interesting part, is seeing how the Dark Elves take on this, because they really don't have like a solid line to engage on. They kind of have to try to pull things apart and get their little engagements, so it'll be interesting to see how it works, as that Siren of Red Ruin is taking some chunks from Krotgar, which Krotgar is an amazing combatant, even on his just Cold One mount. We're going to see Doom Bolt, and that might just kill him, which will be rough. There's still plenty around. Nice. Oh, that Ember Spear might have not been the greatest. I think it just hit the steel on. Nice Hand of the Gods, so great stuff there. And Krotgar might be gone. Nice little AoE use before maybe she routes or something else happens. We are having some units kind of just stagnate here. Really, with this kind of build, you need to keep things moving and keep things cycle charging, because that is how you win. So, then another Soul Blight here, great stuff. They're really getting these units off. The Dark Kills are doing a good job of kind of pulling this kind of box Zimmerman have and really finding its weaknesses. This will be great here. It should just nuke these cold ones after these two charge in. So, good job here. Siren Red Ruin does pretty much die here, but did okay. Not amazing, but... And then we do get another Soul Blight going down, which good use of those when he gets into a kind of bigger brawl, throwing that down so they don't do as much damage to his stuff, because he needs this to kind of stay semi-healthy so it can keep cycle charging in here. It's good stuff. Witch Elder is going to kind of sit here and grind. And really, that is the last unit of Witch Elves, which he did a good job kind of keeping one around, so he at least had something to cycle charge around. And he can always just cycle charge around Malekith too in the end, so pretty good. I don't know if he's using his breath attacks though, which that'd be a nice blob, which I think he is lining up for here to here. Another Amber Spear. Those have been really great at poking Malekith, especially overcast. He is hurting the caster, but how low you got Malekith, it's probably worth it. He's going to come in here, I'll get a quick hit and run. Not stick around too long. Good job getting just after the skinks. This is going to be a nasty flock of doom though, and that will hurt. An overcast, which I really don't. I think the overcast just provides more range, so probably going to use it. And then I did a little bit, and then he just got nuked. Goodbye, Beastcaster, which is good stuff there. And those Doom Bolts have been amazing, and a nasty breath attack too. Should do great there. Yeah, good stuff. What you wanted. So I like the build using Doom Bolt, just pick off the Lord and Caster. Now he's in a pretty good spot, because really the Lizardmen don't have that much to kind of chase down like the Cav or Malekith. They can just pick where they want to go as they please, which is very scary for the Lizardmen, because they can just get cycle charged down here in the end. Are probably gonna see Soul Blight maybe? Yeah, Soul Blight. Maybe you want to just save it for another use case, or like dive on these cold ones that are low here and then use it. Because apparently none of this has great armor, so maybe a little mistake there, but we live, we learn, and we have a good time. As these ones are going to charge in, I wonder what's going to be thrown on them, which would be a Soul Bite there. That is good use. I mean, yeah, and that's the one thing. Doomfire Warlocks, great on the charge, but if they get charged during sustained combat, they die very quickly. If you can maybe get like an Overcast Soul Stealer here, it'd be great, but I don't think it's going to happen. And good job just standing on the point so that you will slowly start to get the enemy coming around to you. Truly, what he probably should have done is just duck around this point so that they had to come to him, per se. But at the same time, it isn't a bad idea to go after them to begin with, so you can kind of pinch him off in a box. But you could have just stuck around here too, and it probably would have been alright. So we will see, as it's kind of nice Soul Stealer too. I didn't get that completely, but good Soul Stealer going to help kind of heal up Malekith. And really, it's just going to come down to Malekith in the end here, as most of this stuff's pretty tattered off. He's going to chase after him. And yeah, I think the Stillons could be the MVPs here, because they can kind of just buddy cop Malekith to death. He's going to kind of pull up and around here at them, and he's going to go after the Skin Cohort, which is a good job. Kind of trying to pull anything he can away from this group that is farming. There really isn't anything to really center it besides the Stillodons. So we're going to get them, and they should just go here. And then, yeah, so that should be okay. Malekith's just chasing stuff off here. I think he's using their Soul Stealer, maybe. No, I just get chased off good. Witch Elves do come back, which is good, and kind of maybe a smart idea trying to hide them so he can come back later and not have like the cold ones. Maybe a mistake too, you don't need cold ones to go that far after a unit. So now he needs to bring him back immediately, which he does, good. Just come down to the central engagement here, is if the Dark Elves can pull it apart enough, or maybe get one or two more nasty breath attacks, and that should do pretty good. It might be enough to make it come back. Their unit rallying, just Skin Cohort, which elves are going to chase him down. So good use there. Malekith is going to start to make his way back, and at the moment he can probably just dive on these kinks and pull back up. And as long as something is chasing a unit off, he's probably pretty alright like that. They do shatter though, so now he has to come back here and make an engagement somewhere soon. Well, he is going to go after these routing units, so it gets out there. And it'll be a good breath attack there. Yeah, took a good chunk. Maybe could have saved it for later, seen if a bigger blob was going to happen, but I don't know if he would have allowed it. And I really hope we did not just click that to go off. No, Soul Star. Good. Pretty good use there, just heal him up a little bit more too. Again, maybe could have waited for a little bit longer to get a bigger blob, but still good use. So we will see as two Bastillodon and a couple of Saurius hope to hold against the world. And the Cold One Spearrider. That is a really nice save. So really be able to kind of bog these units down. And what are we doing here with the Dark Elves? We're kind of just regrouping. We will need to see something come over to start attacking very soon, I would say. So, we pass forward just a bit, see what happens here. So you kind of come in this tree line, and really something needs to attack. I don't think anything else is left around the battlefield. So, at least gonna sit here and let this cap point go. It's rather interesting, which I guess really don't need to worry about attacking anything with the cap point, because the cap point kind of fixes that problem. Emphasis on the quotations. He's gonna let it tick, 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 tick. I think he's just saving up magic. Yeah, saving up magic. So we are gonna come in here now. So that is something you can do here. Just kind of save up your magic. Hope to get maybe another soul stealer or something. This should be the final hurrah from the Dark Elves. So we will see. We will see what happens here. They are going to circle a little bit. They almost immediately start to waver. Probably just gonna go off with that. But charging in, pretty nice. I think it's gonna be a Soul Blight maybe. No, yeah, Soul Blight. Sorry. Good stuff. Really good use in the source, and really, pulling him away is probably alright. Good job keeping a couple of units in the back so he can't just come in and hit you hard. Malekith is just gonna go after the Bastiladon here, which is smart. Bastiladons are gonna be kind of really the things that will hurt Malekith the most. So we can get at least one of these off, one or two, we should be okay. And at that point, you just have to leave him in there, kind of grind it out, hope for the best, and the Witch Elves do out. So it is Malekith against the world. Bounce Power thinks he got it. Well, I don't think he got it, but he thinks he has a good chance. It is starting to tick Blizzardman way, though. So it is going to come up, which I don't know how much. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to throw in the towel. Good stuff. After a nice job trying to pull off a pretty much full mobility build. Just not quite enough. Good damage value. Kragar. Good damage value. Nice Hand of the Gods. Just kind of poke down Malekith. Same with the Beastcaster. Nice Flock of Dooms. Good reliable spell. And the Amber Spear Overcast. Amazing too. So we couldn't have those Soul Stealers in the end when he needed it to heal. Or heal as much. Bastiladons did alright. They were a good kind of centerpiece. This one did pretty good. Good centerpieces in general. Skink Cohort. Not gonna say anything crazy, but you kind of need the bodies to mass block and fight a little bit. Source did really well, just being a good anchor and providing a little bit of damage. Skink Javelins, well, Skink Skirmishers. Most of them did pretty good. Pretty good for what you got. Nice job just poking down the Witch Elves and the Doomfire Warlocks. Cold Ones, that one did That one did and then these two, one of them did amazing, one of them did okay. Which I imagine he was just low on cash at that point, so he did it. Pretty good build, like it. This one, Malekith did amazing, well, really good. I think he about paid for himself, which, well, maybe a little bit more, but yeah. Kind of good uses. I liked how he did it was done, but just wasn't enough. Harpies, maybe could have saved for the end to chase stuff off, or waited for a little bit longer for the Beastcaster. I'm not okay. Witch Elves, pretty okay around the board, but they're mostly unsupported the whole time, so you can't expect much. Doomfire Warlocks, most of them did okay, someone did pretty good. Siren Ruin about in the same boat. Yeah, these builds are hard. They're really hard. Oops, sorry. These builds are really hard to pull off, so, well, good job trying it. And peace till the next one.